Bust it.
They present the popular radio program, Political Platform, on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform.
Hello and welcome to Political Platform. My name is Amechi Anakwe. A lot happening in the polity. We shall be taking a look at some states of the Federation where a comedy of errors have continued. You know, the states that are notorious for this. Of course, Rivers State, where the governor donated 16 sport utility vehicles, the one we call Jeep, in Nigeria, to 16 members of the National Assembly from the state. 3 senators and 13 House of Representative members. Coming at the time, the government told Nigerians that it does not have money to continue to fund the education of some citizens of the state is sponsoring outside the country for education, but there's money to indeed buy cars for federal legislators, not even state legislators. Of course, federal legislators are the responsibilities of the federal government. And in Imo State, the governor is at it again. 28 commissioners were sworn in yesterday. One of them, a sister to Governor Rochas Okorocha. She got a very unique portfolio. It is a ministry of happiness and couples fulfillment. What does that mean? One day we'll get a ministry of the Oza room from the way things are going. Who knows? But maybe at some point the Imo State government may want to explain the reasons behind all this. Of course, we shall also be making our time to talk about the operations of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Nigerian Police. A public outcry in the social media force the Inspector General of Police to order a reorganization of that Special Anti-Robbery Squad. Beyond that, some developments at the Federal Ministry of Finance. If you recall, a few days ago, the DG of Security and Exchange Commission, Dr. Muni Ugbazo, was suspended alongside some other members of the Security and Exchange Commission. Now, some group of shareholders of Oando PLC have come out to ask for the sack of the Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosu, for taking that action. They said they believe very strongly that the reason the DG of SEC was suspended was because of his refusal to indeed discontinue SEC's investigation of Oando PLC. Of course, SEC had begun an investigation of that organization over what it calls some infractions in his books. The stakeholders, those from the South region, claim that the Minister of Finance asked the suspended DG verbally to discontinue the investigation, but the man simply demanded for a written directive to that effect, leading to his suspension. But beyond the allegation, we know that there were also strong allegations against the DG of SEC, who, of course, we are told allegedly paid himself millions of naira illegally from, of course, the organization. And, of course, there were also other allegations of award of contracts to fictitious firms and, of course, companies that indeed he has interest on. Now, the issue is very complex. We expect the Minister of Finance to speak up to clear this the air. Of course, a very, very sensitive development. Maybe before the end of today, we expect the minister to respond to these very grave allegations. Again, my name is Amechi Anakwe. As usual, friend and colleague, the Chief Press Secretary to the Delta State Government, Governor Ehedu Aniagu, is still in Abuja, and of course, is joining us on the program as usual. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Amechi, just yesterday too, the PDP inaugurated the committee to spearhead activities ahead of the convention of the party, and many Nigerians are hoping that the PDP is able to get it right, not only because of the sake of the party, but possibly to also ensure that we'll have a much more functional system in the country. Perhaps we'll have time to also take a look at those developments and what it may portend for the growth of democracy in the country.
An opportunity for the PDP to build on the momentum it has gained, smarting from the resolution of its leadership crisis. The Supreme Court judgment has presented another opportunity for the party. A non-elective convention was held several months ago, but this time around, this Saturday, the main convention, the elective convention, will be taking place. Ijeoma Samuel is also with us.
Thank you, Amechi. I think, like you rightly said, it is an opportunity for the PDP to stand after 2 years of internal leadership crisis. If they don't sit down and reconsider some of the decisions they have made, maybe the party, I don't know what will happen on Saturday, but they are hopeful that by Saturday and after the convention, PDP will remain as one. And they are also calling on those who left the party to come back. At times, I just wonder, maybe because the former vice president announced his return to the party, so they are hoping that other members who also left will come. Let's hope and see what happened on Saturday, Sunday, after the convention. We just pray that this problem of delegate lists does not extend to that day.
Well, 8 commissioners in the cabinet in Adamawa State dumping the APC yesterday for the PDP, loyalists of the former vice president. Are we expecting more? Well, time will tell. But the PDP, through his caretaker committee chairman, Ahmed Makarafi, has said no special consideration for anybody, including Atiku Abubakar, no special treatment. Anybody hoping to go for the ticket of the party for the 2019 general election must go through the same processes every other person would be subjected to.
Amechi, yesterday I talked about the issue of the transfer season. If you were to be in a football game where different clubs are losing and then possibly other clubs are gaining, you may also look at it from those who use the internet to download and upload. If any particular political party decide to upload those who are supposed to be strong and make them strong, then the possibility of the other political parties to download them, because for you to download something must be uploaded. Exactly. So the way it is, it does appear that a number of persons are being uploaded from different political parties, and it's up to those other ones who want to benefit to download them so that they can have them as part of the people they need. If not for anything, at least their own personal vote matters.
Amechi, I think Atiku's declaration on Sunday actually brought to the limelight the importance of social media, because this is a man that never went to any media houses. He never called for a press conference. He stayed in his house and a phone in front of him just to make a broadcast.
Connected with millions of
Nigerians. In less than 30 minutes, Atiku was getting over 3 million replies. And you want to undermine such a man who can just come out, and the newspapers the next day, all the papers carried that story. They didn't invite them. So I think the man is a powerful person. Well,
it tells you more about the potency of the social media. It's gaining currency, especially in Nigeria. We recall the role it played in the 2015 general election, and it will even play bigger role in that election. More and more Nigerians are getting connected, are going online. And of course, a time will come when the social media will see less of rallies, usual rallies across the length and breadth of the country, and engagements, the constructive engagements.
And it's cheaper. At least Atiku didn't have to buy buff for anybody to listen to him.
Yes, and he didn't have to pay for live coverage.
Or even provide bottled water.
Well, our jobs here are threatened, but we'll have to redouble efforts to also be in the social media in such a way that even the conventional media will lose relevance. But let's take a short break. After the short break, we'll hear from you. Please don't get away.
Busted.
They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform.
Welcome back from the break. It's the mail segment, and I'm Amaka Okoro.
And I am Etenikan Akipu. You're welcome.
We'll begin with a mail from Martins Fontner from Plateau State, and he's reacting to the ongoing slave trade in Libya. The mail reads, I write with shame on my face and pains cascading down my spine profusely like a stream of water, asking myself questions that I can't provide answers to immediately on the evildoers in Libya. Questions like, is the continent's highest political body that weak that it dare not raise its voice to issues bordering the continent? And if yes, what are its aims, missions, and goals? Thanks to Idris Deby, the president of the Republic of Chad, for breaking the silence on the ongoing slave trade going on in Libya, by giving the Libyan government 24 hours to release every African held as slave and every migrant in their country. What an inhumanity to man. Libya must come out to apologize to Africans. God bless Africa.
And Shegun Banshaw from Kuje in Abuja writes on the call for the scrapping of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS. He says the litany of complaints, negative testimonies by Nigerians, and the recent restructuring of the SARS by the Inspector General of Police is simply an affirmation that SARS, in the course of their operations, have infringed on the rights of Nigerians by brutalizing, arbitrary arrest, and even extrajudicial executions. Personally, I feel the rot and dirt in the police force is too deep-seated for the police to clean. Hence, the federal government needs urgent steps by initializing institutional reforms, which should include overhauling the recruitment process of the force, ensuring adequate training and retraining of force members. Finally, the welfare of the police force should be improved upon for better service delivery.
And still in that light, Shegun Adeagbo from Abuja says, President Obama once said that African countries must stop building strong people and start building strong institutions. Nigeria is where it is today because most of her institutions are weak. On the issue of End SARS now, why must the IGP wait for the cry of Nigerians trending online before he will call for SARS restructuring? This is reactionary and not responsive. Before now, is the IGP not aware of the rot in SARS? Is he not aware of the inhuman act of his men? Our so-called leaders should be more responsive rather than being reactionary to issues.
And Okochukwuka from Enugu State writes on development in Imo State. He says Governor Rochas Okorocha recently sworn in 28 new commissioners and 27 transition committee chairmen for the 27 local government councils in the state. Among the commissioners sworn in by the governor is his biological sister, Mrs. Ogechi Ololo Nei Okorocha, who was given the portfolio as the State Commissioner for Happiness and Couples Fulfillment. I am not against the governor giving any portfolio to anybody, provided the person is competent on the job. But my worry is, what is the impact of the Ministry of Happiness and Couples Fulfillment to the economic development of Imo State? Governor Okorocha has been known with many unpopular policies that do not add value to the lives of the average Imolite since he became the governor of the state. This is the reason why Imo is among the least developed states in the southeast, which invariably contributed to the rating of Nigeria as one of Africa's worst governed nations, according to M.O. Ibrahim Governance Report for 2017. It behoves on the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC) to call Governor Okorocha and Yahya Bello of Kogi State to order, because the leadership quality of these two governors will adversely affect the electoral fortune of the party come 2019. May God save Nigerians from bad leadership.
And this is the much we have for you today. Keep sending your contributions to us. Send them through to us to politicalplatform@yahoo.com.
Thank you so much for remaining with us. Let's take you straight to the force headquarters where the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, yesterday ordered a reorganization of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. Of course, he also says an investigation is to go on of all the allegations of infractions and human rights abuses against that squad. A new structure is being put in place. Federal SARS will now operate in states and zonal commands. At the same time, all states, zonal, and divisions are to maintain their own anti-crime squad. Again, the SARS should be operated from the first headquarters in Abuja under the leadership of a commissioner of police. Of course, superior officers are now to command the Special Anti-Robbery Squad at the state level. Of course, it followed an outcry by Nigerians over the social media calling for the end of SARS. Of course, that campaign gained currency, made several hits, and went viral, forcing the authorities to speak up. Of course, you must have encountered the Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the police across the nation, an elite squad that, of course, has the responsibility of tracking down armed robbers across the country. And we have now joining us via telephone a former British police officer, Vince Onyekwelu. Thank you so much for joining us. How did we get to a point where an elite unit within the police force appear not to be very popular with the people? talking about the operations of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad of the Nigerian Police?
Actually, it's a sign of a sick society. It's a sign of a sick system. The truth about it is the police can be effective in a healthy society. When you live in an unhealthy society, you don't expect the police to do miracles. What do I mean by that? The SARS officers obviously have failed woefully because there's massive complaints about their brutality, their gangster mannerisms. Let's talk about three issues. Does the SARS officers have the level of regulation that we can make sure that, number one, they have good night sleep, both in the day shift or in the night shift? Do they have mandatory 6 hours rest? Because most of the time they don't sleep well. If you don't sleep well, you become aggressive, you become violent, your performance will drop. Do we monitor if they abuse drugs? Do we monitor if they have mental health problems? Nobody does that for them. Secondly, when it comes to data capturing, do we have a computerized system to monitor criminality, to monitor how much the SARS are doing? So in policing, when you don't give the officers the machinery to be able to work, when you don't monitor their well-being, their health system, and when most officers, the commanders, take this as personal business, they send these officers haven't had enough rest, they go and do double shift, triple shift, 4 shifts. What do you expect from them? You're going to get aggression. So it's down to a sick system that will run in the country. So you're going to expect a sick operation from these SARS officers.
Now you are aware of the steps the Inspector General of Police have taken. Are there more we could do? Of course, you were a police officer in the United Kingdom, talking about international best practices. What more can we do to truly reorganize this very critical unit? Of course, we know armed robbery is a threat to our national security, and there's a need for an elite squad to deal with the problem. Hello, Vince. We have lost Vince there. We hope that indeed we'll get him back on the line for him to indeed come with his parting shot on this very critical issue.
Amici, I think I agree with him totally with respect to the issues of the society vis-a-vis the behavior of those within that society. We talked about the issue of looking for a heady teeth in a rotten mouth.
Vince, we have him back now. Hello, Vince.
Yes, I'm here. I can hear you.
Hello, Vince.
I can hear you.
So you heard my question. Talking of international best practices, what more can we do to truly reorganize and reform the SARS?
First of all, we need to do lessons learned reports. By lessons learned report, they need to look at the challenges, the threats, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the failures of the SARS. After we've done a lessons learned report, we can now know the best ways forward. If you cancel SARS immediately, that is not the best practice, but there's no system in place to replace them right away. So let's do a quick lessons learned report that could take us a week to do, and I can give that service free of charge. After the lessons learned report, we can now decide how do we regulate them better, how do we monitor them better, how do we make sure that their commanders don't use them as a personal private business, how do we make sure that the health and the well-being of the officers are maintained, how do we make sure they have the computer backup so they can bring future to the present? Because in policing, you need computerized system to run policing. So let's do a lessons learned report. Then we can now decide the best ways forward.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vince Onyekwelu, for your input.
Thank you.
Vince Onyekwelu is a former British police officer. Of course, weighing in on that very interesting issue.
Yes, Amici, a parent will be unfair to a child who goes to a neighbor's house to eat in the afternoon.
In the absence of food at home.
When the parent did not take steps to provide food at home. How do I mean? We oftentimes we look at the outcome,
the symptoms of a disease.
If you look at most of these persons who are in SARS, a number of times they are the one even paying for their uniforms and their boots. Some other times they may not even have enough weapon from the armory, and they are the one maybe possibly providing for even the bullets that they have to use. And another time, how are you regulating them? In creating the SARS, ordinarily the name is problem specific. It's problem specific. You said special anti-robbery squad, not even financial crimes. It is meant for those who goes and rob and all those kind of things. I'll give you an example. The other time we had a problem in Port Harcourt, they were following Rotimi Amechi, and you saw them marching on the street, and I asked myself, is this squad against a wicked that is quote and unquote a robber, or protecting Amechi from robbers? Is that supposed to be their job? If you say their job is to wage war against criminals, against robbers, why are you using them to do the job that normal policemen, when I mean normal, that is other policemen that are not problem specified, could do?
Sometimes they go after Yahoo boys.
Yes, some other times they just stop by the road, park their vehicle. They are not looking for any robber. Nobody has informed them that the robber has passed there or that there's any robbery somewhere. They just flag down any vehicle. Even after they have looked at your license, they begin to ask, even the thing they ask them not to do. The reason why that is so is because, number one, those who are regulating them have not been able to look at the reasons why they were created, vis-a-vis acting along the lines that led to the creation of that SARS, that unit. Secondly, that even when they also try to look at the reason why they were created, they have not also sufficiently provided enough for them to work so that they don't have to go to another person's house to eat. If you do it, even if you create another one, and these same things are not addressed, just like the friend spoke about earlier, whoever you are going to create is not going to come from heaven. He's a Nigerian. Yes. And he must be Nigerianized.
And the product of the police.
He must be Nigerianized in that concept if you did not take steps to do what you need to do.
Amechi, I think the Nigerian police need to look into the capacity building of some of these officers, because I don't want to say maybe they don't do training and retraining, because I'm not a police officer, but I think these people need to go through thorough training, because if you see some of them in the streets, if you see them in the vehicle, you may not be able to differentiate them with militants and even with the armed robbers that they are running after, both in outlook and character. So I think from what the guest said, Nigerian police need to look beyond the new table that the IG of police or the police itself brought about. Because even this arrangement, there is even fault in it. What is the difference between what they have done and what has been on ground? You are handing anti-robbery squad to a special commissioner of police somewhere in Abuja. That means that person can easily order something to happen. So we need to go and we need to tell the Nigerian police and even the Nigerian government that these people need thorough training. Because if you keep them away from training for 3 months, they may just go outside.
Especially those handling weapons.
That training is very important. When they stop you, if you want to know that the training is very important, you need to just encounter policemen on the road. You will see 3 or 4 persons asking you questions at the same time. You begin to ask yourself, who do you even respond to? Even when a senior officer, for instance, an inspector is interacting with you, say, gentleman, where are you coming from? Where are you going to? You will see another corporal who is supposed to respect the inspector, being his boss in that environment, also asking you, when I asked you to park, why did you park? You know, you begin to wonder.
The problem we currently have, the current clamor for the end of SARS appear to have overshadowed the good works this unit has been doing. No doubt, they've been able to go after armed robbers, dangerous armed robbers, more armed robbers. They have been able to indeed deal with the situation. But in every endeavor, in everything we do, if there are no supervision, if there are no checks, you talked about
you have abuses.
It's not just training, retraining and continuous training. Any man handling weapon, you check his mental status, you check his stress level, just like Vince said, is a continuous thing and is a reflection of the rot in the Nigerian police. Even if you move all the officers under SARS and bring in new people, are they not coming from the Nigerian police? So we need to take a larger look at the issue of national security. Take a look at how the police as an institution has been underfunded greatly. No doubt we have taken them for granted. We are not giving them the desired funding, and the little that go in are, of course, not accounted for. At the end of the day, nothing happens. So we need to take beyond what the steps the IG has taken. We must we must begin to deal with a problem of police? Is it going to be a federal institution? Are we going to bring in state police? What level of funding, what other sources of funding should they indeed?
Amechi, I think I'm one of those. I am not in support of those who are calling for SARS. Because if you look before now, you see the advantage of this unit. They've done a lot. I was very young when I hear of SARS, anti-robbery squad, and the job they were doing then. But what they need to do now is transformation. We can't remain in one place. We can't just stay in one style. You have to transform. The world is moving ahead. Nigeria is still backward, and you're expecting the Nigerian police to perform when their thoughts, their thinking, their abilities, and their actions are still yesteryears, 20 years ago, and even 25 years ago, 1975 style of policing. I think they need to look forward. That's my own.
Amici, a while ago, you talked about another first that Rochas Okorocha has called with respect to creating the Office of the Commissioner for Happiness. And you know, and about 5 months ago, if you go to the southeast, particularly Imo, you see people asking you on Ebalachi or Ototoma, which means good morning, or have you woken up, you know, to greet you in the morning. But I hear now that the greeting have changed to one name, Akbualagi. So in which case, have they molded you? So the man seems to be achieving a lot of first, but he needs to know that he's a governor for the people and do those things that will indeed add value to the life of the people, rather than scoring first in certain areas that may not be acceptable to the people.
Amechi, from the other side, I think the man will soon create a commissioner for the Ozaru.
The Ozaru. And of course, there are some other names on
Did he create the one for statue erection?
On a lighter note, some other names that are being given to newborns who here in Imo State now, Chima Okwanam, let my God not mold me. These are some of the way people have brought jest into
but it's better that your God molds you.
Let's wait for explanations from the Imo State government. Maybe there are some good intentions behind the creation of
maybe your happiness is on his rise.
For happiness and
he needs to bring it down. We'll hear from them. Thank you so much for being part of the program today. On behalf of my colleagues, my name is Amechi Anapwe. Tomorrow we'll continue PDP convention and other sundry issues. Please have a nice day.
Bust it.